Mako is by far my favorite ride at SeaWorld Orlando, so when I was looking for something cool to make out of K'NEX, it was a natural first choice. What I didn't expect was that this project would take me effectively half a year to complete. So how did we get here? This build ended up being enormous, so I had to build it in sections and then take those sections outside and assemble them. Naturally, the best place to start this build is the station. As you can see, this is a pretty simple station, but I decided to add an extra facade to the side to replicate how it looks in real life. For Mako, I tried building backwards, which means the next section I worked on was this ending helix. I'd say these highly banked turns look pretty close to the original. I also added on this section with a simple airtime hill. The next section I built was the mid-course brake run, and on top of it, the lift hill. As you can see, the lift hill is pretty enormous, a lot bigger than I thought it would be when I started this project. Underneath the lift hill is the mid-course brake run, which is part of the block zone system on the real ride. My coaster doesn't need block zones since it only runs one train, but it was still cool to build. Attached to the lift hill is the first drop, which also ended up being a lot bigger than I expected. While most of the build uses grid supports, I tried to use some tube supports for the lift hill to make it look a bit more realistic. The next section I worked on was the Stengel dive, and below that, the turn into the speed hill. My Stengel dive looks a little taller than the real deal, but I'd say it gets the job done. This is the part of the ride where Mako turns left and goes alongside the lake. The next section I worked on was the legendary 5-second floater hill, and next to that, the trim brake hill. The 5-second floater hill is well known for giving a long, sustained airtime moment. You may notice that there are some motors and a chain on the trim brake hill. This is because the flexible K'NEX track absorbs a lot more speed than a real coaster would, so I need to give it a little bit of a helping hand. While I'd rather I didn't need this lift hill, it's more important that the coaster completes the layout. The last section of Mako is the hammerhead turn. This element spins the train around so that it's able to return back the way it came. This is probably my favorite element that I built. I quite like the shaping. Alright, so we have all the sections, but how do we get these things together? I've hired this random construction worker to go ahead and build it for us. I'm sure he'll do a good job. How's he actually connecting these together? Let's take a look. That's not how I would do it, but he's the expert. With that, Mako is fully assembled. Now that we got this thing together, it's time to test. This should do the trick. That wasn't quite what I was hoping for. That's fine. We'll just use a longer train. The micro stock trains did not work, but maybe this can help us. This train from Clover Coasters should get the job done. The train is cool, but this is more important. Now let's give these trains a test run. Yes, it made it right up to the stopper. So now the train works great, but it doesn't really look like the thumbnail. Fortunately, I've been practicing some sleight of hand magic. If I just wave my hand in front, I should be able to change its appearance. Cool, but not what we're looking for. Air Force One, we're looking for a different airtime machine. A winter train? No, wrong season. Maybe later. Okay, who is making these? Finally. Mako. Let's take a closer look. Check this out. Okay, we got the track built, the train, and the inspections passed, which means it's time to roll. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing, and maybe I'll make more like this in the future. Until then, see you next time.